Hey everyone, it's Click here again, and today I have for you Movie Sideswipe version 2. So here we have him in his Corvette mode, and this looks pretty good. I think it looks a little disproportionate, especially in the back. I think this should be a little shorter, and maybe the front should be a little longer, or at least this whole thing should be pushed back. But, yeah, there's nothing really I could really do about that. I tried a lot of things up here in the front, and this is really the only thing that worked out with transformation and all that. I realize this is a very hard car to replicate in LEGO and try to get it as slim and sleek as possible, which is really hard, but this is the best I could do. But yeah, here he is from the side, and from the back here. You can see you got those very unique shaped taillights there, and got those 4 exhaust pipes there. Here he's from the bottom as well. It is a very strange transformation, so a lot of things kind of go everywhere. Here's from the top, and as you can see in there, there are approximations of seats. They look actually fairly good for what they are. I tried my best to get them as solid as I could. And yeah, those actually become the arms there, so. But yeah, that's one big step up from version 1. I don't think it really had much of an interior at all. And you can't really fit a minifigure in it perfectly. That's really the best you could do. I mean, I guess it kind of works, but I guess you could always do something like that. That works a lot better. And yeah, everything holds together really well, so that's really nice. And he does roll, forgot to mention that. He rolls pretty well, which is, again, also another step up from version 1. And now getting to his vehicle mode features. Here we have his handguns that he uses in robot mode. So what these can actually do is split in half, so you can just detach this, do it with this side, but detach the other side of this gun. And then what you can do is make a sort of stealth force mode. So you can lift this up a little bit, and you can actually attach this back here. I like to bring this out. You can angle it up. Do the same over on this side back here. And then what you can do for the front is you can lift these 2 pieces up, and you can attach it right there, and right there. And then what I like to do is kind of angle these out a little bit just to give it a more interesting look, I guess. And you can also raise this spoiler up a little bit. I think it's supposed to be raised up a tiny bit. And I also like to kind of bring these wheels out just a tad. And then there we have Sideswipe in his stealth force mode. Yeah, it's something I just kind of thought I'd try to do for whatever reason. I don't know why, but yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, it obviously looks pretty messy now, but I mean, that's kind of the point, I guess. And getting everything back to normal and setting his guns aside. Well, the reason I call this a movie Sideswipe instead of Dark of the Moon Sideswipe, which obviously this is that version, what you can do is take these 2 chunks here, and these are actually roof pieces to make the Revenge of the Fallen version. So what happens here is this will attach right on the inside of this windshield piece right here. So just like that, and I'll do the same on this side, of course. And then what you can do is just hinge this down, and hinge this down as well. And there you have the roof, and then what you can do is come back here, and the spoiler just kind of hinges down. Since I don't think the Revenge of the Fallen one actually had a spoiler. Then last thing you do to kind of give it the right look is change these slopes out for clear ones. And with those quick modifications, here we have Sideswipe in his Revenge of the Fallen version. And yeah, this is something I didn't actually plan on doing, but then I realized you can get a pretty good looking roof by just adding a couple pieces. Found out this can already hinge down to kind of make it flush, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, especially the proportions of the vehicle, but overall I don't think it looks too bad. And for size comparisons, here he is with Barricade, Dino, and a minifigure. And I have noticed that the scale of my Transformers have been getting a little bigger recently. You can see how he is compared to Dino. I mean, it's not too much bigger, but I think I'm fine with the upscale a little bit, because I feel like I can fit more into these, but yeah. And now we can move on to the transformation. So first what we're going to do is bring this up, bring this whole kind of front section up, and then what we're going to do is bring these pieces out of the way like this. And then we're going to come to the bottom and take these legs. Actually, what we're going to do is bring this piece, hinge it up, and then lay it flat against what will be the leg. And do that over here as well. And this is just to kind of free up all the joints so you can move everything around. And now that that's done, we can kind of hinge these up so that we can get these slid over, and these are gonna pass through barely. They have just enough clearance to get past that, and then you're gonna slide it back so that it's in the middle of that bar right there. Same over here. So you're gonna bring this spoiler out of the way. That's why it's on the ball joint there. And bring this through. And then slide it back. And then you can take the spoiler and then hinge it down. And take the head, bring it up, and rotate it all the way around. And you can kind of see how this is starting to come together. And then next we're going to take these, what will be the wings, and then just hinge them up out of the way. And now we can split the entire front half of the car like this. And this is pretty interesting. So hinges out on the ball joints. And you can bring this waist section down. Kind of want to get these out of the way. Rotate this little tooth piece. This will come down a little bit and give you enough room to hinge these both up like this. And then you're going to take this whole section right here and rotate it all the way around. Hinge these back down. And then fold it back up into the chest. And these two studs right here will tap in here. And that should solidify everything pretty nicely. Then you can rotate this back up to kind of cover up that ball joint a little bit. And you can bring these chest pieces in and angle the arm like this. And then we'll come to the back here and deal with these wings. This is a little fiddly, but what we're going to do is bring this around so that this hinge is going straight with the robot claw, and then you're going to hinge it out so that it has kind of that angle there. You can kind of keep that angle just to give it a different look. And then we'll bring down this piece just like this. And this whole taillight section will kind of shift in a little bit. That will keep it in place pretty nicely. Like this. And then just kind of angle the wing however you really want. Come over to the other side and do the same thing. So, swing around like this, and then hinge it. And then you can bring it up and around. Make sure these are pushed down all the way. This spoiler section will come up to kind of give more clearance for these. And bring this piece down as well. Forgot to do that. And there you pretty much have the back done. And you're going to fold these seats up as well. And then we're going to mess with the arms. So the first thing you do is take this here and shift it all the way out like this. And then you're going to rotate on this clip where it's attached to this brick right here. And then you're going to shift it back down. And then this is going to rotate pretty nicely like this. And then you can bring down the hand with the sword on it. And then rotate this. These two pieces will fold in. Just kind of shrink that down a little bit. And then you can take the grill piece, rotate it, and fold it in. This piece will rotate around to kind of give the sword a more angled look. And there you have one of the arms done. Let's straighten this out a little bit. And we'll do the same thing on this side, of course. So shift this out and rotate it. This one's really tight for some reason. Probably because it's new. And then shift it back down, rotate, and then kind of fill in this little gap right here. And then swing the hand down, rotate it, fold these pieces in, come back here, rotate, and fold in. Then lastly, I'm gonna rotate this around to give it that look. And there we have the arms all done. And then what we're gonna do for the legs, we kind of get the arms out of the way, swing this all around, and then you're gonna take this piece right here and rotate it to the back. And just swing that up there for now. Bring these legs down. And then to transform one of the legs, it's pretty simple. All we're going to do is bring this out and rotate it up to kind of become like that hydraulic looking thing that he has on the back of his legs. Rotate, swing down, hinge, and give it that weird angle that it has. And then come to the back, rotate this, and then bring this down and slide it over like that to give him his heel. And then we're of course going to do the same thing on the other side. As usual, bring this around, bring this to the front, rotate it, rotate this, and then give it that angle, rotate, rotate, and then shift down, just like that. You pretty much have the legs done. Last thing we're going to do is a little bit of backpack. And this is pretty simple. This is just going to tuck in right here. And then this will kind of lay on the back. These will push down as far as they can. And after that, here we have Sideswipe in his robot mode. and I definitely think this is a step up from version 1. I think it's a big improvement, and yeah, I think this came out pretty good. This was a big challenge to make. This took way longer than I really wanted to spend on this, and yeah, I definitely made a lot of improvements since the first attempt at this update. And yeah, he was not looking good at first, I'll tell you that. But I definitely am happy with this, so that is good. Here he is from the side. As you can see, there's really not much of a backpack at all. Unfortunately, the cause of that is that there's a little more mass on the arms here. I really wanted to get these arms to be the front of the vehicle mode as they should be, and unfortunately to accommodate for that transformation, I had to add a little bit more mass on the back of the forearm here. Although I don't think it's that bad. It is there, but there is some still really good articulation in the arm there, so I'm not too bothered by it. It doesn't really hinder that. Coming in the back here, you can see I got these 4 exhaust pipes on the back, which is something I also wanted to do with this, just to get that detail in. And yeah, again, this is a big improvement, right? In this area, from version 1, there was a big panel that would sit along the back and it'd stick out pretty far. So I'm pretty happy I got rid of that. And I think these are a big improvement as well. I think they look pretty good, and how they're angled just kind of suits the look, I guess. He's got some nice heels to keep him standing, which is really handy, so he can actually get some good poses in, and you don't really have to worry too much about if he'll balance on his weird wheel feet. And I tried to make the wheel look a little bigger, at least, by adding in a 2x2 round plate, just to kind of thicken up that wheel, because it kind of expands somehow, or at least it looks like it does. So that's the best I could do to kind of replicate that. One key detail that I really wanted to get right with this is the red taillights on the chest here. I really want to get that weird L kind of shape, and yeah, I think that works. It's a really hard shape to get right, and I think this does a good job at representing it. And I'm really glad that I was able to get these integrated into the vehicle mode, so you don't have to parts form like the Studio Series did and version 1 did. So now they can always stay on his hands, and you don't have to keep these on. They're just attached with this stud here. You can kind of hinge this up to take it off. And what I usually do, because the hand is a little long like this, I rotate this and then kind of fold it up along the forearm, so you kind of get that. And there you have him without his swords. I think he looks pretty good actually without this. And obviously you can take his guns here and attach him now without his swords. And these look pretty good in his hands. You can get some nice poses with them. Now in terms of getting him in his Revenge of the Fallen version, basically you just have to do the same stuff that you did in vehicle mode. So I'll do the hardest part first, is just replacing these with the clear version, like that. Then we'll come to the back here, and we'll take these pieces here, and they're going to attach in the same exact spot they did in vehicle mode, like this, and like this. So you can leave these on for robot mode, and what these will do is hinge down and then come up like this to kind of hide him away a little bit. But yeah, after that's done, there you have him in his Revenge of the Fallen mode, and he doesn't actually look too much different. It's just these panels on the back, but not all that bad, I don't think. Now, in terms of articulation, he's actually very articulated. So you got a ball joint at the shoulder. It is a little hindered by these panels right here, but you can really kind of hinge the ball joint in a lot of different ways, so you can go all the way out like that. His wrist or elbow, I don't know what it should be called, but has a lot of rotations. Like you got this here, you got full 180. If you kind of bring these out, you can get a full elbow joint there. You can even just hinge this out. There's another hinge in there, so you can get that to go up. It's got a joint at his hand right here, so you can rotate, go in and out. These can be moved about. You can bring them up if you really need to get more arm articulation. His head is on the normal hinge joint right there. Legs, ball joint, of course. Go way up. Definitely do the splits. Even more than that. And ball joint here. Hinge here. So you get some really good articulation there. And lastly, these can be articulated in lots of different ways. You can bring them down if you want. All sorts of things. For size comparison, here he is with Crowbar, Optimus Prime, and a minifigure. And that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a frustrating build to make, but I am satisfied with it. So I hope you guys like it as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.